Hello, guys, and welcome back to League One predictions, week 10. Can you believe that? I'm joined, as always, by the sensational Benjamin Bloom. How are you?
I'm good. I like sensational. That might be my favourite
Ooh,
prefix for me, but I'm good and I'm ready to talk about a glorious top three and perhaps the statement win of all statement wins we've seen in the entire EFL this season, if I want to hype it up a little bit more.
yeah, we've got brilliant Bradford, and we could say sensational Stevenage as well, I guess. Yeah, a very intriguing looking
Well,
League
hang on
One
a
table at the
minute.
moment.
I'm sensational. I think
Oh,
Stevenage can
yes,
be,
sorry, yes, yeah.
but
Superb.
that's alliteration for yeah. Give him superb. There you go. Carry on,
Superb
Matt.
Stevenage. No, that's all right. Guys, as always, be sure to play along. Get your predictions down in the comments. It's great to see you all getting involved. The fixtures are listed in the description, and make sure to drop a like on the video. Subscribe to both myself and Benjamin Bloom. The first link in the description, where you can find lots of great EFL content. Also, the score between myself and Ben last week in the League One predictions was 7-3 to myself, which means I have gone in front overall. And I want to say a massive thank you to Match Bingo for sponsoring us. Make sure to get involved by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code. Make sure to use the code MATTSB when you go over there for a one-time 200% deposit bonus. There are big events on this weekend, so there are big cash prizes up for grabs. 18s and overs only and UK residents only. Thank you as always to Match Bingo for sponsoring us. Be gamble aware. Let's get into the predictions, and I'm looking forward to this one, Ben. AFC Wimbledon versus Wycombe Wanderers, and they both come into this on the back of great wins at the weekend. Wycombe, of course, winning with Michael Duff. His first game there, of course. Ben, he got announced after we'd done our predictions show last
Yeah,
week.
that crept up, didn't it?
It certainly did. But Wimbledon, Ben, getting a great win on the road at Doncaster Rovers. So what do you have to say?
So what was the timeline? Was Duff in there to prep the win against Northampton? That's kind of his win, is it?
Yes, yeah, I'd say so. I think it was Thursday it came out, yeah.
Oh, okay. But sometimes when we hear about it, they've already been in, they've already met the players, they've possibly done something. But not that you can do a massive amount. But yeah, we never like to see people losing their jobs. But let's say the feedback we had from the Wycombe fans was not great for Mike Dodds, was it? And yeah, I know you're a fan of Mike Duff. So am I. Incoming 3-5-2 and some intense football, but yeah, we'll see. He certainly got a point to prove after things at Huddersfield didn't work out last season. We'll have to look that up on the calendar. Wycombe versus Huddersfield to see when he's going back. Wimbledon, though, I mean that's a great win at Doncaster, especially away from home, isn't it? So, this is a difficult one because you've got the new manager bounce and presumably some extra quality in the Wycombe squad, but then Wimbledon, home advantage and really nice momentum and kind of good feeling. They could be in the playoffs, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Wimbledon back to back. Oh, mate, it's so dull. I'm going to go down there. I can't separate them. Let's go. It's so predictable to go 1-1 to begin with. So I'll go a nil effing nil to begin with.
Oh, okay. That was nearly a scribble, Ben,
You're
because
going to go 1-1.
I am going for the 1-1.
Yeah.
I thought you might back Wimbledon with the home advantage.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, and they're on a great run at the moment, and they just look solid, don't they? And actually, looking at this, Ben, they don't do draws, do they? We're both predicting them to get their first draw here, but I am very encouraged by Wycombe Wanderers after last week. The performance was very commanding. I know they're playing a Northampton team at home, and you'd imagine Wycombe, with the quality they've got, should be winning that. But yeah, it was a nice change because they've not been very good so far this season. So an instant impact. And yeah, you touched on, I'm a fan of Michael Duff. I still feel, I know there was a few disgruntled Huddersfield fans before he left last season, but
I
I
don't know
still
if they
feel
were
like,
disgruntled with him, though, were they? I think it was his boss they were disgruntled with, possibly. And he's not at Huddersfield anymore, and everything seems to have changed.
yeah, well, I suppose the point I was going to make, Ben, is that I know they weren't in the top two, which is probably where we expected them to be last season, but they were still in the playoffs. And then once he'd gone, they really fell out of the playoffs, didn't they? And things ended worse without him, actually. So
remember last season, Matt, it was a bit distorted. It was absolutely mad pace by Wycombe and Birmingham at times, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Last season?
Yeah. So let's have a 1-1, and Ben's got the 0-0. So share your thoughts down below. We'll both go for a draw and sit on the fence on that one, but could see it going either way. Ben, we'll go down to Leyton Orient versus Stevenage, which is another one where I'm thinking this could be close. Stevenage keep winning, and they're up to second place with that 2-1 win over Exeter City. Leyton Orient, Ben, they lost at the weekend, of course. They lost 2-1 to Reading. The stats suggest they should have got something out of that, and I think Richie Wellens will be looking for a response. So I'm going to do something I don't do very often, and I'm going to back Stevenage to lose. 1-0 Orient.
Interesting. It's so hard, this, isn't it? Because even anywhere near the back end of last season, you'd have been all over Orient for a home win against Stevenage. But man, Stevenage are good this season, aren't we? And playing with such confidence and show up for a game against Exeter and with 5 minutes in free kick top bins, and you're like, yeah, this is the type of season we're having, and then win the game fairly late on. Oh man, I don't want to start with 2 draws. If this was at Lamex, I'd be confident, and I'd probably back Stevenage. I am going to have to start with 2 draws, though. So I'll take the 1-1 here.
Yeah, I quite like that. As I say, I think it'll be a close game, so I wouldn't really be surprised with any outcome. So do share your thoughts down below. A draw's all right for Stevenage on the road, Ben, isn't it? And remember, they're one of the teams that have only played 8 games, so that'll keep them right up there.
They won 6 of them.
Yeah, I know, they've been incredible, haven't they? Ben, let's go to Oakwell. Barnsley versus Port Vale. This should be interesting. Barnsley are going to look for a reaction after late defeat at Bloomfield Road. They lost 1-0 to Blackpool, of course. Port Vale, 2 wins for 2. Obviously, the red card does play its part in the game, obviously, against Mansfield. But
minute 14, crikey.
Yeah, but I mean,
they won in minute 95.
I was going to say, it's nice to see Port Vale getting a late goal, because I know they've conceded a few this season. Where are you with this one?
I am going to play the weather card on Barnsley having to go to Blackpool at the weekend. It was, if you weren't across it, I know we have plenty of people watch from all over the world. The weather in England on Saturday was abysmal, and a lot of games did turn into, look, get the ball away from the box, don't make a mistake, and you might win. That was kind of, but it gets like that though. You can do all your prepping, but if you're presented with conditions like that, especially up at Blackpool, northwest by the seaside as well. So I'm giving Barnsley a pass, and I'm giving them the home win here. And I'll go for Port Vale to be in another 2-1, but they're going to lose 2-1.
Yeah, I quite like that. I am leaning towards Barnsley. I had said for a while that Port Vale's numbers and performances suggested that they were getting closer to winning, and like I say, 2 wins in a row now, which is great. I just think it's difficult, this one, isn't it? Away at Barnsley, and once again, they'll be looking for that reaction, and they seem to be bouncing back well when they have setbacks this season. They're still in the top 6, Ben, and curious to see that, Barnsley averaging 2 points per game. It's only got them 6th right now, so there's a lot of teams performing very well at the top end. Devante Cole, by the way, looking good for Port Vale, and he's returning to Barnsley with this one as well.
I wonder what could happen next.
I'll give him a goal, maybe 2, and let's go for a bonus point. Barnsley 4-2. Let's go for a downpour of goals.
Sucking me in on that one. SB goes rogue.
Yeah, let's double up on, double Ben's prediction. So he's got the 2-1. I'll go 4-2. Ben, oh, mate, this will be great. Let's go to Valley Parade. Bradford City, top of the table, Bradford City take on Blackpool. Before we get into the prediction, Ben, let's talk about Bradford, because they've had a great start to the season. We've been across this, and I thought it's a lot of the momentum and positivity coming up from last season. Obviously, they've got a great team as well, but I thought this is great to stand them in good stead for a playoff push. But can we actually start to consider them as a top 2 contender? They've gone away to Cardiff and won 3-1.
I think you just have to now, don't you? I say with no word of hyperbole about that being a statement win, because we both sat here and we looked at it and we're like, okay, Fun and games, yeah. Bradford are good fun. They've got loads of fans at home and they just got promoted and they've got loads of momentum. And how cute. They've had a lovely, good start. But here we go. Away to Cardiff, who've been in the Premier League and just come down from... been in the Premier League recently. I'm aware Bradford have been in the Premier League as well. And what were we saying? They don't lose at home and they don't concede any goals. And a real performance, wasn't it? And great opening goal. I've got to say for the second goal, I would have been the other centre-back yelling at Osho, don't dive in, yeah, penalty, yeah.
With those circumstances as well. Then.
Crazy, wasn't it? Absolutely crazy. Do you know, I'm trying to think, was it Osho who completely lost his head at Watford for Luton once? I was at the game. I think they had a couple sent off.
4-0.
Yeah, and he absolutely hammered someone on the touchline. So he's got a loose tackle. Apologies if it wasn't him, but let us know in the comments. Where you see him running over from Titi, you're like, oh, this don't bang, red card. You know, this don't look good, does it? But then to come out in the second half and grab the third goal as well, absolutely tremendous. And Graham Alexander was saying, been a bit more careful. Could have had more than 3 goals in that game because, you know, it gets loose once you've scored 2 in the first half away from home. So, yeah, just a real statement win, statement performance. Look, it could tail off and fizzle out into nothing. But right now, I mean, 20 points from 9 games, top of the league, and the manner of last week's win and who it was against. Yeah, what say you?
Yeah, I've got to back them. You can't not go for Bradford at the minute. I thought I was being brave backing them to draw at Cardiff, Ben. And like you say, they were 3-0 up in no time. I loved the goal from Tommy Lee. Yeah, they managed the game really well. And like I say, at Valley Parade, they'll be getting a sellout crowd. They should be beating Blackpool. Blackpool, to be fair, they got the win over Barnsley that we touched on, Jordan Brown's last-minute goal. And Blackpool... a little bit of a surprise element to them that they beat Barnsley and Huddersfield when we least expected it, but those results were at Bloomfield Road. So I will go with Bradford. I'll give Blackpool a bit of respect and only say 2-1.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You got to back Bradford at the moment. I'll go 2-0 then, which would mean, yeah, definitely ending around top of the 23 points at 10 games, that would be as well. And
2.3 per game.
I know Matt subscribes to my ridiculous nerdy points projections, but if you have 23 points at round 10, you then have 36 games. 55 on top of that will take you to 78. 60 on top of that from 36 games will take you to 83.
That could be the magic number.
Could be the magic number. You don't know. And you know, you're giving yourself margin for error. We're having exactly the same conversation about Borough in the Championship. We've made a mad start that, you know, and that puts pressure on other teams. For example, let me find Luton. Yeah, Bradford are 8 points ahead of Luton.
Yeah. Exactly. It's quite substantial at this point. It's so impressive. Just the way they keep going. I thought this might be a 5-6 game thing at the start of the season, but we're getting into late September and they're top of the table. So, yeah, very significant. Ben, I'm going to throw over to you first for the game at the Pirelli. Make some sense out of this. Burton Albion versus Plymouth Argyle. Burton with a decent 0-0 at Huddersfield. Backs to the wall, of course.
Did they park the bus in that?
Looks like they went for it at the start of the game, but yeah, definitely hung on in there, which is a good result. You know, away at Huddersfield, and it gives them something. It brings to an end that losing run. Plymouth, Ben, I just cannot make any sense out of them. I'm gonna try and sort of let them off and say that the numbers suggest they should have got something from this, and they didn't. So, over to you.
Yeah. So Plymouth's last 4 results: 4-0 defeat at Cardiff, 4-2 win over Stockport, 3-2 win at Luton. Bizarre. We talked about it last time with the best winning goal you've ever seen. Sarcasm if you didn't get that in the comments. And then lose at home to Posh, who've been atrocious. But I'm going to back them. I just feel I'm looking at a table and Burton have got 1 win and are a bit hapless at the moment. It feels like I need to double check. It feels like Burton have had some quite hard fixtures out of their 7 that they've played so far. But man, you got to start winning at some point. Burton 0, Plymouth 1.
Yeah, that's actually a scribble, Ben.
Okay.
I wasn't sure what direction you'd go in for this one. I wonder if I could flip you. Yeah, go on. Plymouth are very confusing. Let's say they actually lose this one. Burton desperate for points. 1-0 Burton. Backs to the wall in the second half. They're going to hang on in there. And look, I know I keep saying they've got games in hand, but they are rock bottom now. 2 points from 23rd.
And as you always say, Matt, 4 relegated. Games in hand ain't a lot of use of your bottom in League One, are they?
No, yeah. I mean, right now they're 3 points from safety, but that gap can suddenly be 10 points before you know it. So, yeah, got to get something. Ben, let's go down to Exeter City versus Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield, as we just mentioned, 0-0 against Burton, frustrated in that one. Exeter City 2-1 losers to Stevenage, no disgrace. Stevenage are fantastic, as we said. I would imagine this is going to be a Huddersfield win, Ben, but they are letting us down a few times in these predictions videos. I'll stick with them because they have been pretty good on the whole, but their results are very mixed, aren't they? I just wonder if it was a case of, Burton really did hang on in there, but if Huddersfield score early in this one, they'll be able to get the 3 points over the line and open Exeter up. Let's go for a couple of goals. Exeter 1, Huddersfield 3.
Yeah, we're very close on that one because I've got 2-1 to Huddersfield. I'm just looking, and I'm looking more at Exeter, 4 defeats in 5, and the win was against Posh at the height of Posh's crapulence in that particular run. And Huddersfield, we back a lot on here. Just we're following the money, aren't we? Just big spend and good squad and good quality. But yeah, you're right. They have thrown in a couple of, but they will, mate. It's Lee Grant's been a manager for a couple of months, basically, hasn't he? So I'll go 2-1 Terriers.
Next up, Ben, we'll go down to Kenilworth Road. Luton Town versus Doncaster. They both come into this, Ben, on the back of back-to-back defeats.
So do you think the bloom's off the rose for Doncaster now after the brilliant start?
Possibly, yeah. The defeat last week, look, don't want to take much away from Wimbledon, but I thought that was one Doncaster should have. You'd imagine at home they'd have at least got a draw out of that, but I don't know. You mentioned to me the other week that they're actually doing all right on the road. I wonder if this might suit them.
I mean, Luton could do anything at the moment, couldn't they? The classic could win 3-0, could lose 3-0 in this one. Being there's an element of confusion about the form of the two sides, I'll play it safe and assume that Luton are at home and have got better players. So I will back Luton. Luton have been goalie, haven't they? So should we do a silly one and play for a bonus point? Here comes a 3-2, Matt. Luton 3, Donny 2.
Yeah, their games have got loose, haven't they? I think they started off quite tight, didn't they, Ben, with the 1-0 win over Wimbledon? And
You'd expect that with Bloomfield as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. And it was the 2-0 win over Posh. I thought, yeah, they're looking pretty solid at the back. But, 3-1 defeat to Lincoln last time. I will back Luton as well. Same answer that you've put forward. I think just quality is where I'm going with this. So I'll go Luton 2-1. I'll just tone it down a little bit from Ben's prediction. And that would be 3 defeats in a row for Donny. Oh, gosh, look at this, Ben. Mansfield versus Rotherham, who are now in the bottom 4. We have definitely highlighted some concerns there, but they really need to start picking up some results because, as we said, 4 going down, it's a big trapdoor. You do not want to fall through this. I fancy Mansfield, Ben. Home advantage.
I do too, yeah.
They've shown more quality this season. I know their results are indifferent. We'll give them a pass for last week with the red card so early against Port Vale, I think.
Agree as well.
Mansfield are quite goaly, aren't they, Ben? But Rotherham aren't. Let's go for Mansfield 2-0.
I thought you were going 2-1 because I'm going 2-1. I'll give Rotherham a goal, but I pretty much, your thought process was exactly mine down to a T there. And at what point do we start having a very concerned conversation about Rotherham though, Matt?
Well, quite soon, really, Ben. This is not good, is it?
If you strap on the end of last season to these results,
well, can we strap on the whole of last season, Ben? I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they ever really were that promising. And I think we had quite high expectations for them at the start of last year, as you always do with Rotherham in League One, with Steve Evans as well. But he couldn't get a tune out of them, and they're just really struggling, aren't they? Goodness me. Yeah, we're both back in Mansfield. We've got the
lock me in at 2-1 then, yeah.
Yeah, 2-1 and 2-0. Share your thoughts, especially if you're a Rotherham fan, as Ben says. Ben, let's go to Sixfields, Northampton versus Bolton. You're up first, and Bolton, it feels like they've been very good this season, Ben, but not putting those numbers into practice in terms of results. They did against Wigan. They were ruthless.
What was your stat about Bolton and Wigan? Is it over now? Was it like 100 years since Bolton have beaten Wigan or something? Yeah. No, we say it a lot, don't we? When we're trying to do analysis and the numbers don't quite add up to the results, you know it's going one of two ways. Either the numbers drop off to match the results or the results pick up to match the numbers. And, you know, we like Bolton as a League One force and we like Schumacher as a League One force. And speaking of forces, there is Marcus Force with 2 goals as well. You knew it was coming. It's satisfying. When you know it's coming, the punchline shouldn't let you down. Have we got a bit of a Kevin Nolan narrative here as well? He was a great player for Bolton. Well, do you know what? I actually saw Kevin Nolan score a hat-trick from midfield for Newcastle against Ipswich as well. He was just a brilliant arriver in the box and finisher. Northampton have improved quite a lot recently. Are you a little bit worried that triple win is going to just be a big spike come the end of the season? I don't know. I'm going to give Northampton a point. And let's play Desmond. Let's go wild. Northampton 2, Bolton 2.
Wow, I'm quite surprised by that, Ben. I know Northampton had won 3 in a row, and their defensive numbers aren't bad this season. I just think they're not scoring many, are they? Yeah, I suppose it is at Sixfields as well. I just think maybe I'm being a bit reactionary, but after last week, I've got to go for Bolton. I'll go for a 2-0 win. I think it could be comfortable if they get the first goal, and maybe we'll give Northampton a few more games to try and make some sense out of them, because that, like you said, that 3-game winning run has sort of distorted things a little bit. If they lose the next couple, then like you say, is it a bit of an outlier run or what? So there you go, 2-0 Bolton and a 2-2
But Matt,
draw.
if Northampton are in a relegation battle, we now know they've got it in them to stick back-to-back wins on, which makes, God, such a difference, doesn't it? It's like having a jetpack on back-to-back wins in a relegation battle, isn't it?
It was the abilities to keep clean sheets as well, wasn't it, Ben? 3 in a row, a couple of away wins in there, I think, as well. So that was really encouraging. So, yeah, they've got it in them for sure. Ben, we'll go over to Peterborough versus Lincoln City. Peterborough, Ben, back-to-back wins, and all of a sudden they're off the foot of the table. They overtake Burton. Are we allowed to get a little bit excited for them and start to think they might start pulling away, or are Lincoln City going to bring them back down to earth, I wonder? Lincoln City with a great win over Luton Town, and a big crew scoring. I'm really pleased for him, of course, from a Coventry City product.
He was at Cov, was he?
Yeah, academy player. Yeah, really, really good. I don't know. Is it harsh to say Peterborough's result at Plymouth was a bit smashy and grabby? Possibly. But you know what? The Peterborough fans might like this. I'll keep backing you to lose, and you'll probably keep winning. Let's go Peterborough 1, Lincoln 3.
Yeah, Lincoln are on really good form. Speaking of losing, they're not losing. I just had a little look. I think it's early August as well. So they're, if you factor in all comps, they're probably a good 9 or 10 undefeated and scoring pretty freely as well. Did Collins score? No, he didn't. Ben House scored twice. We predicted a Collins goal against Liverpool. Rather, I did, didn't I? What did you take? You took the away win?
I've gone 3-1.
I'm going for another draw. How many draws have I had, Matt?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. One more, he says. Famous last words. 1-1. Posh 1, Lincoln 1. But, yeah, very impressed with Lincoln and Skubala. Absolutely. And there is also that possibility that, Lincoln jump into the top 2 this weekend, because they're right up in 3rd place, which is incredible. Ben, we'll go over to Stockport County, who are back on track, we think, with that 1-0 win away at Rotherham, a result we both thought would happen. I think I took the 1-0, but you would have had it. You said it was a scribble. How
how are they going to do against Reading? Because Reading did win last week. I touched on the numbers, maybe suggesting Orient could have got something out of that, but I'm happy for Reading. It's a couple of results in there now. They've only lost one in the last 5, and they've just moved out of the bottom 4. I like Stockport at Edgeley Park, Ben. You're up first.
Yeah. This is a Stockport blip, really. So before they beat Rotherham, they drew with Cardiff, lost at Plymouth, drew with Wigan, beat Burton, but then before that, there's a defeat and a draw. I just wonder whether this might go down as a blip, and Stockport are now kind of coming out of it. Do you know what I mean? We'll look back upon that as a poor run, and it's no bad thing to be going from 1 point off 5th place basically if you've already had a blip. So you can see where I'm going with it. I'll go for Stockport. Edgeley is good for them, isn't it? I haven't had a comfortable win anywhere, have I? 2-0 Stockport.
Yeah, I quite like that. I will take the 1-0 Stockport. Quite efficient at grinding out the 1-0s. Could see a 2-0 playing out for sure. I quite like your point there, Ben, about that being their little blip, and maybe they go on a little run now and win 3 or 4 and establish themselves
such
back in
high
the top
standards,
6.
haven't they?
Absolutely. And to be fair, if we're going to say this is their blip and they maybe go on a good run, they're only 4 points off the top 2 after that blip. So
how many points did they get last season, Matt? They got 87 points last season. So Stockport drawing and losing a couple does feel like a blip, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly. 3 without a win is quite quite poor from Stockport, given the standards they set themselves. So, yeah, I'll back them to win 1-0, and you've got the 2-0. Ben, we'll go over to the final game, Wigan Athletic versus Cardiff City. They both lost quite heavily, I suppose. I mean, Cardiff, 3-1, and Wigan in particular, a 4-1 defeat at Bolton, which I didn't see coming given their record there, but they were well and truly took to the cleaners. Good goal from Paul Mullin to pull one back, but it was a consolation. Cardiff will be looking for a reaction, Ben. I'm actually really intrigued to see how they get on, because they've been really efficient so far this season, and that result has come out of nowhere. Oh, God, I don't like going first for this. I think Cardiff have been more impressive this season, but that result, what does that mean? I'll back them. No, I'm tempted to go for the draw, actually. Wigan being at home. No. Let's go for a Cardiff crucial 3 points with a 1-0 away win.
Yeah, it's a scribble. That's what I had down. Cardiff bouncing back, and you're right. It is a big test for Brian Barry Murphy, isn't it? Because he's not been in there long, and it's kind of, it's been plain sailing, hasn't it? Unbeaten for the first 7 games, and then all of a sudden you've got to show your mettle and show some resilience and show your skill as a manager, to then off you go up to Wigan, and you've got to get back to winning ways. So, yeah, I thought clean sheet win, and I've had a million draws already, haven't I? So I'll take a 2-1. They're fairly front foot, Wigan, and they're at home, so they probably can score, can't they? Wigan 1, Cardiff 2. Back at it.
Yeah, I quite like that. And we're both going for the Cardiff bounce back. Guys, make sure to share your predictions down below. Ben, I mean, I always enjoy these League One shows with you, but League One is looking very, very tasty this season, isn't it? With just so much inconsistency. I don't really know what we're going to get each week.
Well, we've got similar story in the Championship, where you can literally take 4 teams, I think, who are in the top half and put them in the bottom half, and 4 teams that are in the bottom half who you thought would be in the top half. But this is even more pronounced, because whereas in the Championship you do still have runners and riders up at the top, where you're like, okay, Middlesbrough getting promoted, that's not crazy. Stoke getting promoted, that's not crazy. Give me a Bradford, Stevenage and Lincoln top 3. That is crazy and brilliant. Although, Matt, look just below them: Cardiff, Huddersfield, Barnsley. Okay, Doncaster and Wimbledon. There's Stockport, there's Bolton, and there's Luton. So let me reel them off. Luton, Bolton. How many am I saying? Luton, Bolton, Stockport, Barnsley, Huddersfield, Cardiff. Would you be surprised if that was the top 7 at the end? You wouldn't, but no. I think Bradford are going to have something to say about that. Stevenage are, Lincoln are. We had Lincoln in the playoffs in not the most distant past.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm all here for it. Like I say, guys, share your thoughts down in the comments. The entertainment is fantastic. As well, the entertainment on the Benjamin Bloom YouTube channel is always fantastic. Make sure to click the link in the description and subscribe over there. I'm sure 100% of you already have, but if there is any tiny fraction of you that haven't, please be sure to get involved. What can they find over there this week, Ben?
So we had the hot takes yesterday. Had a chat with Sam Parkin today. Managed to talk a bit about some teams lower down the table. We talked a bit about Wrexham, Sheffield Wednesday, and a great one for Oxford as well. So check all of that out, especially if you're a Bradford or Stevenage fan, because as things stand, stop the count. You're going to be joining us. And I'm going to be chatting to Matt tomorrow and Conor McGilligan, easy for me to say. Clip that out and send that to Conor. We'll laugh at that. We're recording 3 at the back. And we're going to talk about a great performance by Sunderland with 10 men and a great win by Leeds as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. The drama everywhere is absolutely fantastic at the minute, so don't miss any of it. Subscribe to Benjamin Bloom, subscribe to myself, drop a like on the video, do your predictions, and we'll see all of you lovely people next time. Thank you for watching. Take care. Peace out.